welcome back to the Second Life Act podcast. I'm your host, Sherry. Today's episode is all about reclaiming our power through self compassion and resilience. In a world that often challenges our kindness and tests our boundaries, learning to nurture our inner strength is more important than ever. Let's unpack this and begin by acknowledging that life doesn't always treat us gently. Many of us have experienced moments where our kind nature was taken for granted or even exploited. I too have been in situations where I felt used or misunderstood. Over time, I learned that protecting my energy didn't mean closing off the world. It meant being discerning about who I allowed in to touch my soul. Today, I want to share a journey from open-hearted generosity to the empowering practice of self-compassion. I'm not saying it was easy, but every step taught me how to honor my own worth. Whether you're recovering from the past hurts or simply seeking to build stronger boundaries, this episode is for you. I remember a time when I'd give my all to everyone who crossed my path, thinking that my kindness was a universal cure. I believed that by giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, I was nurturing love. But sometimes that trust was replaced. I learned, sometimes painfully, that not everyone values authenticity. People can only meet you where they're at. For example, I once found myself questioning my own energy when I realized that my openness was being exploited. I had to ask myself, when do I offer my heart and when do I protect it? Over time, I discovered that setting boundaries wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a declaration of self-respect. And I used to try to make people believe that I was a good, pure soul. I don't anymore. Because I think that, as I said before, people meet you where they're at. And they, in other words, if they're not loyal or they're backstabbers or they talk bad about you, whatever the case may be, they can't believe that another human being is not like them because they are that way, if that makes any sense. And the reason why I don't question it is because there are people out there. Your tribe always finds you. You just have to let go of some things. So next, I want you to know that you're not alone in this struggle, and neither am I. Many of us, especially those who have been nurtured to see the good in everyone, face the challenge of discerning genuine connections from those that might deplete us. That inner discernment radar becomes sharper with each lesson life teaches you, so be aware of it. What if I told you that self-compassion is not just a gentle pat on the back, but a superpower? When I reflect on my journey, I see how the practices that once shielded me, meditation, journal, and mindfulness, molded me. Think about it. When you're kind to yourself, you begin to set a standard. You no longer tolerate less than what you deserve. It's like planting a seed of self-worth that eventually blossoms into a sturdy tree of resilience. I invite you now to consider this question. How often do you take time to be kind to yourself? Maybe it's through a quiet moment with your thoughts, a walk in nature, or simply allowing yourself a break from the world's demands. These small acts of self-compassion accumulate over time, reinforcing your inner power. This superpower isn't about shutting people out. It's about knowing when to open your heart and when to protect it. It's a balanced approach, being open to love while also ensuring that energy is respected. Let's kind of talk about cultivating resilience and reclaiming our power. Resilience is the art of bouncing back. It's not about never failing, but about rising each time you do. In my own experience, every challenge has been a stepping stone towards understanding my strength. Here's a practical tip. Create your own personal boundary blueprint. Write down what you need to feel safe and valued in your relationship. This isn't a list of walls. It's a guide for healthy engagement. When you know what you'll accept and what you won't, you'll reclaim your power over who gets to influence your emotional space. I've noticed that when I'm clear about my boundaries, the quality of my relationships improve. The ones who value me step forward, and the ones who don't gradually drift away and fall off. It's all a process, one that takes time and practice. But every time you say no when you need to, or yes when you feel safe, you're actively shaping a healthier, more resilient version of yourself. Reflect on this. How do your relationships change when you honor your own needs? Sometimes by protecting yourself, you create space for meaningful connections to flourish. Let's take a few moments now for a reflective exercise. Find a comfortable seat, take a deep breath, and close your eyes if you're able. I want you to picture a moment when you felt truly seen and respected. A time when your boundaries were honored and you felt safe. Hold that image in your mind. Now ask yourself, what did that respect feel like? Was it a gentle warmth or a firm yet kind assurance? Let that feeling guide you. Imagine carrying that strength into your daily interactions, using it as a reminder that your kindness deserves reciprocity. As I talk to you, I am also talking to myself. Okay, take another deep cleansing inhale in and exhale. As you open your eyes, consider one small step that you can take today to protect your energy. It might be as simple as affirming your worth in the mirror or setting a boundary with someone who has overstepped. Write it down, commit to it, and observe how your inner strength grows. As we close today's episode, remember that reclaiming your power through self-compassion isn't an overnight process. It's a continuous journey, a series of choices, big and small, that affirm your worth and guard your energy. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. I hope you leave this episode feeling empowered and ready to embrace your superpower, the ability to be kind to yourself while setting healthy boundaries. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from this little extra strength in their life. I'm Sherry, and you've been listening to the Second Life Act podcast. Stay true to your journey, trust your intuition, and until next time, take care of yourself.